integration. What is EA? EA is nothing but where different applications which are developed on different languages, which are hosted on different platforms, right? So in your Hexaware, you have multiple teams working on one of the banking sector project, where some people are doing Java, some people are doing .NET, some people are doing mainframes, right? So there are different languages, they are built applications and deployed on different operating systems. So then they are using the middleware. So they deployed and different platforms we are using. So where we need to have a continuous integration to talk to each other, to the upstream system, to the downstream system, which can be catered by using the any middleware. Like in a middleware side, we can call it as a ESP. There are multiple tools. Like TIBCO is the one of the tool. Mule ESB, Web Methods, SAP PI, Process Integration or NetWeaver, and Web Methods, as I said, and Pega is also there, and WebLogic, WAS, and WPS, IBM Integration Broker, IBM BPM, Progressive BPM, JBoss Fuse. I think Bala or Guru someone worked on JBoss Fuse. So these are all tools are catering the same integration layer, EA layer. So this called as a brokers or middleware or a EA tools. These are all catering the same same scenario. So previously, without the middleware, integration, how it will happen? So the user, if you see here are you able to see my screen, right? And without integration, how it will be? So different customers are interacting each other, but they are not in a sync mode. Sync, sync and asynchronous mode. Sync means I am talking and you are replying back. That is a synchronous means it's a request reply. We are chatting on a WhatsApp. For example, we are chatting on a WhatsApp one to one. Right, I am sending to Bala as a message hi, and Bala is sending to me as a hi. So it is a request reply. We are chatting continuously in a request reply format. If I am sending the request, Bala is not available due to the meeting or he is not responding back. So it is asynchronous. Means he is not replying back to my messages. He will be reply back, but after some time. But he is not continuously replying back. Correct. Asynchronous pattern. Similarly, without the integration, some application is accessing some database, they updated some records, but other application is trying to access the same employee table in the database. During that time, some errors will happen. To eliminate those type of errors, we need to have a continuous integration need to be done. So that is the role of a middleware. Right. So if you take this pictorial, the third layer. So if you see, there are multiple systems are integrating each other. They are talking to each other, and they are not functionally well arranged. They are not well properly structured. So in that case, we will face lot of issues. The data corrupted will be done. Duplicate data will be formed, and losing of the data can be done. Manipulating of data is happening one system. Other system may not be in sync mode. So those type of issues will be faced during the without the integration. To achieve the integration, so we used to have uh, middleware. Middleware is continuously integration where it will talk to the top system and user-based system. It will go to the request and it will do the transformation logic, send it to the end system. So this is the role of a middleware. Is that clear? Is that clear? What I'm saying is
Okay.
clear, or any in more explanation is required.
Uh, okay. Yeah,
Maybe
it's clear.
few folks are coming to different background, right? So I'm trying to convey my message to them first, because concepts are first why the middleware is required. They need to understand clear. Then tomorrow onwards we are going to jump into the labs. 95% we are doing hands-on lab. So my humble request is everyone bring their own laptop or desktop, start doing the exercises with me. And if you are getting any issue, try to share your screen so that there itself I can resolve the issue, right? So that is the way we are going to continue the session going ahead. Okay. And coming to the integration, like I'm talking to you in a English, in the business language in English, right? Few folks are from Chennai, few folks are from Mumbai, and few folks are from other on-site people. But our business language is English, right? So Chennai people they can talk in Tamil, and Mumbai people they can talk in Hindi or Marathi. But our business language is English here. So so when I go to the Chennai, so I don't know Tamil, right? So I need to talk to them. I need to talk to them as a national language, Hindi or English. So my intention is here. The example is what I'm saying is, it's a language transformation. So you take the request as a Hindi and English it to the end user. So it's a language transformation, and in the sense of request transformation and orchestration, right? For example, one more thing. When you are doing something in any e-commerce site, right? So typically, as a end user, I need to register myself. I need to log in the user, correct? I need to select the product and check out. If you select that product, add to the cart and check out, then you need to do the payment, correct? So payment will go to the payment gateway. So either you need to select Visa, MasterCard, Amex. There are multiple new gateways, payment gateways. These are called as payment gateways. So when you select to the respective payment gateway and respective bank, it will talk to the third party system. The banking system is third party gate, and the payment gateway itself third party. So it will respectively invoke to the HDFC ICICI bank. Then you need to log in your credentials and you need to do the transaction, right? So where different systems are integrating each other in a one request. In one purchase, different systems are integrated. Once you've done the order management, once your order is successful, once your payment is successful, right? Then the order is completed and you'll get the order details on your mobile. How you are getting the SMS or email, where again third party systems are integrated. Then once your product is successfully placed the order, it will go to the warehouse system, where the warehouse system, warehouse means where the product will be lying, but in between there is another order management system, maybe SAP or Siebel or CRM, any other system will take this request, and they will, because you are sending the request in a different format, and the end systems are SAP, Siebel, CRM, they have their own language format. So TIPCO or any middleware will do the orchestration and transformation of logic, business logic, and transformation of uh, the language also. It will transform the logic and send it to the third party system. So this is all about the level of integration. So integration is can be done application to application level. As you see the slide, right? User interface where user can be developed on a JSP level, and business logic you can write in a Java, .NET, anything, any access layer control, and data store. Data store is your database, right? Is that clear? What is the concept of middleware? Why the integration is required?
Yeah, Shrikant.
Yes. And we can do a lot of integration, like it is application to application level, data level integration, and API based integration like that. There are a lot of method level integration, right? User level integration. There are a couple of integration can be done, right? So for example, application to application, like you developed an application, I'm using different applications. So how the application data can be transformed each other, because one application is, if you take the application one developed in a Java and application two developed in a .NET, so so definitely they are not talking to each other because their data format itself different, right? Their language itself different. So we are we are introducing another component here. Are you able to see my mouse, right? I'm moving here where I'm going to integrate the ESB layer, right? So where the integration is happening there, right? This is all about the integration of TIBCO. TIBCO or any other tool also you can do the same integration, right? So this is the way. This is the way where we are doing the point-to-point integration. Like A, B, C, D is a four systems, and this is upstream system, downstream system. In between there is no middleware. Without the middleware, where the data is going, where the coming, it's not clear, right? It's very clumsy and it's very difficult to understand where the data is transferring from one system to the other system, right? To eliminate that one, we are going to use integration. Is that clear, this picture?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
see the differences. Without the integration, they are very clumsy. Data duplicate can be done. Data inconsistency can be happen. Data errors will be happening, right? So to eliminate that one, we need to use any middleware, one to any integration layer. So that is the way we are going to integrate and talk to each other. So this is another pictorial view how they are doing the integration. Previously it was there. It is before 95. This is after, sorry, before 93. This is after 93. These are the steps. How the integration will be happening. So how the people are, I said that different clients are sending the, using the different portals and going to the EA layer. EA is Enterprise Application Integration, where our TIBCO will be here in this layer. Then go to the B2B. B2B is business to business, like any other external parties we have, external partners, because you can, B2B, I will give a simple example, okay? You have Amazon and Flickr, right? Everyone knows Amazon and Flickr, right? So as a Srikanth, I started a small company like manufacturing unit, right? So I want to sell my products to the Amazon or Flickr. So I want to make a B2B integration, business to business. Application to application is different. Business to business is I want to make as a supplier. I want to make a supplier. I want to become a supplier agreement with the Amazon. So it's a B2B, business to business integration. Application is different. Business to business is different. So this is a B2B integration. So TIBCO can do everything. Application to application can be done. Sorry, sir. Yeah.
Can you explain more on B2B, because application, it also exposes application, no? Or it's different?
Yeah. It also exposes the application, but B2B is where uh, one host and multiple partners will be there, right? Host is the Amazon, for example. Host is the Amazon, and multiple partners like partner
Okay.
A1, A2, A3. So partner A1 is building the iPhone, means they are manufacturer for the iPhone. Partner A2 is the building the MI phone. So they want to sell the products, right, through Amazon, right? It's a business to business,
Okay.
right? Application is different.
Okay.
You understand the difference, right? So TIBCO will cater both the things. Any middleware, not only TIBCO, because I'm a TIBCO guy, I always say TIBCO,
Okay.
but any middleware like ULSB, WebMethod, any middleware will do cater application to application, business to business, or A to B can be also be done. So these are all called as a
So it's like a middleware will talk to another middleware.
correct, exactly, yes.
Okay.
I will share these PPTs, but I don't want to go. It's very big one, so I'm giving the scope, what exactly they are doing, and yeah, this is one of the other thing, right? So, for example, this is message-based integration. For example, for this slide, right, I will give a simple example. We are using the WhatsApp. Everyone is using the WhatsApp, correct? So, I am sending the message, and you are receiving the message. For example, I am sending the message, but your mobile is switched off. So it's not chargeable mode, or you're out of data plan. So you're not able to receive the message. Something is happened to your mobile. Where the messages will be lying? Correct. Where the message will be lying? It is lying in a message infrastructure. If you see here, my mouse is I'm moving around. Message infrastructure. So all the messages will be lying in a one JMS server, Java messaging server, where message will be live. Once your mobile is switched on, you will able to receive all the messages. Correct. So message based integration. like I said, is the WhatsApp is a good example, one-to-one. If you are talking on a group, right? We create a group. Group is set of users, correct? Where one-to-many can be done. One-to-one is one-to-one communication. One-to-many is one publisher, multiple subscribers. I am publishing the message on a group, so everyone will receive the message. Who is part of that group will receive the message, correct? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the message-based integration. Even WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, which works on TIBCO only. It's developed on TIBCO. It is working on TIBCO infrastructure. Right. So this is a message-based integration. So we will do all these real-time example scenarios. Then you can understand how it will be, happening. Right. So yeah, this is the message-based integration. Yeah, legacy layer mainframes. So yeah, hub and fork architecture. Like I have some mainframe system with a downstream system. How I want to talk to the mainframe. So you have a Kix adapter, right? Kix will be there in the mainframes. COBOL. Yeah, I worked very long back mainframes with the adapter. So TIBCO
Yes.
has the adapter for the mainframes. Kix adapter, COBOL, and some other format also there. So we can use the adapters to plug in. If you see here, adapters. Civil has adapter, mainframe has adapter, Oracle has adapter, and any ERP, SAP ERP has adapter. And this is our middleware, central broker server. This is
So
our
these
middleware.
adapters will be already predefined, or we just need to configure those adapters? Is it, Shrikant?
As
The
per our
adapter will be
requirement,
available for all the.
yeah, it has 150 plus adapters, sir. As per our requirement, we need to buy the adapter.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, it's not 150 adapters will be given to you. Only one IDE will be there. IDE is where integration development environment will be there, where we are going to do the development. All the adapters we need to buy it as per your requirement with the production license. So which plugin you require, fix adapter, buy it and install it. You will get the plugin over there for the development.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So this is all about the how this is the architecture, how the ESB will be working. This is we can call as a bus architecture or USB architecture, right? So as you see the applications, there are multiple applications in the upstream system. From uh, from from last half an hour, I am saying right. This is the A layer, B layer, and C layer. Correct. A is the applications where multiple applications are there. These are different applications which are developed on different languages and posted on different platforms, right? But end of the day, everything they are sending to the message to the message bus. Message bus is here. Your ESB will be there. It's called as a ESB. This message bus is called as a ESB. This is called as a ESB actually, right? So all the messages will be in this ESB, and this ESB is our TIBCO. Right now we are using TIBCO or Mule ESB, web methods, anything. SAP has NetWeaver, process integration, any ESB you can take. JBoss use also. But once I get the request here, I will do the transformation and send it to the end system like this. So I'm doing the business as well as transformation logic. For example, what is business logic and transformation? For example, I'm applying a credit card or applying any job portal where I'm entering my first name, last name, right, and date of birth and all the details, correct, and submitted the form. For example, this is the one you think, this is the one. You submitted the form, request came here. But the end system is expecting only name. But in the application A, we it has a first name, last name as a columns, two different columns in a application form. Two different columns. But here the end system, the C system, the down system has only one column as a name. Name equal to first name plus last name. So we are making it Srikanth. Srikanth is the first name, last name is surname is Tota. So it will make it name equal to it is taking as only one argument, Srikanth Tota. So those business logic concatenation can be done here, right? And I'm applying for the credit card. My salary is, for example, per month I'm getting 30,000, right? So I need to check the eligibility. If it is 30,000, then I need to reject it. Then I need to say you're not eligible. If it is more than 30,000, yes, you are eligible. Those type of conditions we are going to write in the business logic here, in the ESB here, right? So this is the role of a, this is role of all the participants who is attending this session. So they need to develop this type of business logic in the ESB using the TIPCO. And one more thing is TIPCO advantage is anyone coming with the little bit background of Java, any XML or any database is enough. But it's not mandatory. If it is there, it is good for them. That's it. But it's not mandatory. And especially TIPCO BW5, whatever you guys going to learn, it's totally zero coding. There is no zero coding. There is no Java code need to be written. Totally, it's a drag and drop configuration, and you need to do the configuration. There is no prerequisite for this. If you have Java or XML, Oracle, or any PLSQL, is an added advantage, but it's not mandatory. Right, folks? Hello? Hello? I'm not
Yes,
hearing
Srikanth.
I'm not hearing anyone. Yes, no.
Shrikant, Kishore here.
Yeah, Kisha, tell me.
Shrikant, can you explain more about adapters? Like, why do we need to use adapters? What is the role of it? Because as per I understand, we need to convert the data, whichever is coming from different platform, into some common platform in ESB, right?
Correct.
So, what adapter does?
Yeah, good question, sir. So, whatever I'm getting the request, in the middleware, I'm going to convert it. Correct. So, the role of an adapter is, in the downstream system, you have a KIX adapter, you have a mainframe adapter, KIX or Civil. Civil is a different product, and mainframe is a different product. But on the top system, and the request is coming only one request, but which will connect to your mainframe server, right? It will connect to the mainframe server from your ESB layer, and it will talk to the system, and it will send the request to the server. So if you want to talk to any external third-party system, you should have a plugin for your adapter. Simple example is like if you are in Mumbai, you travel to Belgium for a project, correct? Right? You have a Lenovo laptop or any iPhone you purchase. The adapter is Indian plug adapter is different. Belgium adapter is adapter. The power supply is different, right? The ports are different, correct? We cannot use Indian directly over there, right? Either you need to buy adapter to use that one, correct?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Similarly, if we want to same message need to be multiple third-party systems like SAP, Siebel, CRM, anything in the downstream system, then you should have an adapter. Salesforce, you should install those adapter to the your designer where you are going to develop. This adapter is nothing but it will install as a plugin. It will connect to the third-party system, test connection. Once test connection is done, you can send the data to the on their system.
Okay, Shrikant, thank you.
Yeah, that is the role of an adapter. Any other questions, guys?
Srikanth,
Yeah, yeah.
we have in the previous slide you were showing the bus, right? Bus. What is the purpose of bus?
Yeah. Yes.
In that workflow. Just a minute.
This one, sir.
Not able to see anything. 1 minute. So, can you explain more about the workflow engine, Shrikant? Whether in the workflow engine or integration service?
No, the logic.
These three are part of message bus.
These three are part of message bus. Correct.
Okay.
You are right. So I will give in detail explanation. Right. So application which can be developed on a different languages. ESB is where we are going to install our MuleESB, TIBCO, anything here, and workflow. Workflow you have Pega as BPM system, and activity BPM, JBPM also there, right? It's a workflow. So yeah, good question. Thanks for asking this question for me. So participants, the main intention is whatever we are learning, the TIBCO is a SOA. SOA is SOA, service-oriented architecture. What is service-oriented architecture? I'll give the example, simple example to understand. So whatever I develop the service means I develop a calculator, I develop a banking application, or I develop some mobile app, right, which is not there. I develop some application. That application I need to expose to the external clients so that they can consume my service, right? Where the SOA is coming into the picture. Service oriented. I can develop the service and expose the service. Like Facebook.com is the application where every users in the world, they are using Facebook.com to access the website. So Facebook developed the application, they expose the service via Facebook.com. That is called as a service. Either we can consume the service or we can publish the service. Publish means you are the owner, you develop the service, you expose the external world. You are the publisher. Subscribe means we are subscribing through the mobile apps, install the Facebook app, we subscribe with our username password to the Facebook.com. So that is a service-oriented architecture. Again, the definition platform, again, different applications developed on different languages which are hosted on different platforms. They are continuously talking to each other like synchronous, asynchronous pattern, message-oriented pattern like WhatsApp example I said, right? So these are all called as SOA. Right. Other thing is this is a workflow. Workflow engine is nothing but, for example, in Hexaware, you are going for a holiday. You are going for a leave. You apply for a leave management system. They have leave and human plus system interaction. How the system is triggering to the your manager using the email triggering. While human plus system interaction will be there. That is called as a BPM, business process management. Right? Business process management. All the banking sectors, if you apply for the credit card, if you apply for the home loan, if your salary is greater than 10 lakhs, then approve, otherwise reject. The flow goes up, flow goes down. Some conditions they will put. So this is called as a BPM. That is another subject. So I'm just giving the heads up what is SOA and what is workflow integration, business process integration. Right? So
the flow and logics will be the flow and logics will be defined in workflow.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. SOA can talk to BPM. BPM can talk to SOA.
Okay.
they are mutually talk to each other.
Okay.
Right? And these are some how the integration is happening, integration server, some slides that are given. Whatever I said from last 30 minutes, 40 minutes, saying the same thing. I will share this material as well, so you can go through this. So this is all about the TIPCO components where we are going to use it. Okay. Okay. So any questions on the middleware? Is the concept is clear? Why the middleware is required? How the integration is happening? I can hear only Bala Guru, not the other folks' voice. Or Krishna, I can hear Krishna. Kishore. Someone is asking me, but his voice is very low.
Hello, Shrikant, Harshad here.
Yeah, Harshad, hi, tell me.
Yeah, actually, we are new to all these things because we are from mainframe and all other backgrounds. So we first of all we don't know what is service is,
Correct.
what is a web service, and then
Yeah.
coming to the point, what is service-oriented architecture? By example that you have given about the Facebook, we understand that the Facebook is a service and we are consuming the service and through mobile apps and all. And
Correct.
Facebook is a publisher, the company.
Mhm.
So, and ESB is just transforming data from one application into the another application, and during that there will be some kind of a data mapping and some business logic which are done under enterprise service bus.
Correct. Yes.
So we understood this, but yeah, through example we understood this. The workflow engine, I have not completely. I didn't understand it completely. Workflow engine and the other parts.
Okay.
Um, so basically, what I want is through examples we understood, but what is a real definition kind of thing? For let's say somebody asks for what is a SOA, so how should I explain to him, or what is
Yeah.
ESB?
Correct.
So
Yeah. Thanks for whatever you understand. It's pretty much straightforward. I think you followed me, and only the first. Let me clear the BPM. The you are not clear, right? BPM. BPM is simple example. Better to understand the example. Concept wise, you only answer it. But BPM is where business process management. Like you are applying for a leave, or you are applying for a home loan, for example, right? You went to the bank, you went to the bankbudget.com, you submitted all the details, correct? The form. Then it goes to the respective bank. They will check your all credit history. In India, they will check the credit history with the PAN card number, credit score, and all the details, and your salary details, and what is your experience, and what is your savings. Everything they will verify, the banking system. Then, if it is sufficient, they will approve it, otherwise reject it. So, where you are a human, you enter the details in a form, correct? Then it went to the bank system. Bank will take all those details and they will do internally. They have some business logic where they will validate these details. They will talk to your banking system where your account will be lying over there. So these are all talking to the different systems where human plus system interaction will be there. Yeah, is it clear? Human plus system interaction will be there.
okay.
No, you are clear. Don't say just okay. So I'm trying to convey the business logic within the bank, like within the bank, like account, queries, right? Oracle queries, SQL.
Yes.
Select start from customer ID equal to Harshad,
Yeah.
right? Then it will give the result set, right? Harshad first name, last name, salary, account balance, account debits this year, like that. Every details will be there. So those logic we are developing in a SOA, right? That is the
Okay.
SOA. For example, those where user interaction will not be there, or business only we are developing. But the external form, the request coming to us, right? External form coming to request to us in a form format. You are submitting you are open a browser, you fill the details, submit. That is a form. User, that is a human. Human is entering the details, and system. System will take all the details and go to the SOA, and it will do the calculation, and it will give the result. Approved or rejected on a user interface. Different applications which are developed on different platforms, which are uh, which are hosted on a different platforms. They are continuously talking to each other, and the data transformation. You said clearly, the different data formats need to be converted. Like I'm coming as a request as a Java, but response is the downstream system is expecting Kix format. So definitely they are not going to talk to each other. To talk to each other, I need a middleware where I will take the request and do the logic and send to the end system. Simple example is if we go any RTO office or any land registration in India, definitely we have some brokers, right? We need to approach the broker first. We cannot go to the officer directly. We need to go to the broker and give some amount, XYZ amount. Then he will take appointment of that particular officer to convey them and do our process, right? That is the role of a broker. Here, role of a broker is taking the request in a different language and sending the response to the different language. So that is the concept of a SOA, service-oriented architecture. The service can be, you can build the service, you can expose the service, or you can consume the service. These are all different definitions they will use. If you Google it, you will find a lot of differences. But in ground reality, this is the way we are going to implement. And yeah, that is all. ESB is called as a enterprise service bus. It is an infrastructure. Like if you develop a Kix application, you are deploying on some infrastructure, right? You should have Linux, Unix, or some mainframe server where you are deploying your code. Right? It's called as a ESB. ESB is always called as an infrastructure. Only Mule product called as a ESB. TIBCO never called as a ESB. And even Pega BPM they will call, but never call as ESB. Web methods, ESB they will call. So ESB is the infrastructure. On the infrastructure, you can implement A2A, application to application, B2B, or any ETL tool you can implement, or any BI, business intelligence, like Tableau, Spot5. There are multiple tools. Microsoft BI. So those are multiple tools there. ESB is the infrastructure. So this is the TIBCO platform, how it looks like where the information bus will be there, and the data layer. Yeah, thanks for your in detail explanation, Guru, for the WhatsApp example. Yeah, so we will make a live scenario so that people can understand easily. So yeah. So this is the platform and why the SOA, what is the definition? So this is the definition, how it will look like. And yeah, and this is the infrastructure, I can say ESB infrastructure in TIBCO. And one more thing is we are going to use TIBCO BW 5.x 5.11 version here. And we have a component called as TIBCO TIBCO Active Matrix Business Works. This one we are going to use. And any adapters we are going to use this one. And EMS is Enterprise Messaging Service, where the messaging layer we are using, right? Enterprise Messaging Service. So this is Active Matrix Business Works. So just go through it, expose existing systems, services, build new services, and orchestration with little or no coding. Right? This is called as a business works. And there are 4 components, I can say, like TIBCO Business Works. Basically, sorry, sir.
Sorry, Srikanth. You are saying there are many TIBCOs, right? We have many TIBCO applications, right?
Correct.
So Is there are any difference or something we are going to see it later part or?
Which difference? I'm not understanding your question.
No. You say in TIPCO we have active matrix business work and we have you showed some list.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Then I'll tell this. Yeah. So, as per our agenda, we are going to cover active matrix active matrix business works. This is for orchestration and policy manager. There are different tools in the TIPCO itself, and TIPCO Business Studio it's called as a Business Studio. It's an advanced version of Business Works, and Administrator is whatever we develop in a Business Works, we are going to deploy in Administrator, where we are going to deploy our application, start the engine, stop the engine, everything. And Service Bus is nothing but, as Guru said, it is a mediate. It is nothing but JMS, Java Messaging Service, and all the adapters will be here. Kix adapter, JCL, or any SAP, Siebel, CRM, everything will be here. And Service Grid is where our.
So basically, we will be using all these, no?
No. We, as part of the agenda, no. That's why I'm going to explain it here. First thing is the components of TIPCO. TIPCO components are. First thing is TRA. TRA is nothing but JRE, TIPCO Runtime Agent. TRA is nothing but TIPCO Runtime Agent, which is running on JRE. So every machine has a JRE, right? Agreed? Every machine has a Java. If you install the Java, it has a JRE, right? So TIPCO is using the JRE to run their applications. So this is the first component.
Okay.
This is the first component. Each and every machine where TIPCO development need to be done, this component need to be installed first. TIPCO Runtime Agent. Each and every machine where the development and deployment also we are doing on a server side, on a Linux or Unix, the TRA should be there on the machine. So this is the first component. These are the components. TRA and TIPCO Designer where we are going to do the development. I don't want to go much deep, it is okay, it makes you confused. Development. It is called as IDE. IDE, you know, right? Eclipse, NetBeans. I don't know Kix what IDE is.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, IDE is where we are going to do the development. Right? TIPCO Designer and TIPCO Business Works. Where our engine will be there. Engine in the sense, whatever the application need to be run, some engine should be there. So those facilities will be provided by the Business Works. Those infrastructure basically. Right? And TIPCO EMS is again built on JMS, Java, messaging. The EMS is Enterprise Messaging Service. It is Enterprise which is built on again Java only. EMS, totally built on EMS. Okay. So these are the stuff, and TIPCO has another called as a RV. We are not going in detail, but I will give overview and we'll do some examples. Rendezvous, Rendezvous, TIPCO Rendezvous, and these are the another component. This TIPCO EMS and RV called as a messaging models in TIPCO ESB. It's called as a messaging models. And this is TIPCO own. No one uses this one. This is internal to the TIPCO. We cannot use, like Pega cannot use TIPCO RV. Pega can use only EMS or JMS. They cannot use the TIPCO. TIPCO is TIPCO proprietary. You cannot use the TIPCO RV, right? And TIPCO Hawk is there. Another one. Hawk is monitoring and management. Monitoring and management is Hawk, right? And TIPCO administrator. So whatever we develop, right, in this one, we will make a EAR file. EAR file. EAR file is enterprise archive. Whatever we develop the business logic, the application, we will build a EAR file, and this guy need to be deployed on admin. We have admin, UI will be there. UI will be there, and command line interface. Means console mode, command prompt. Using command prompt also, we can deploy the application. It is mainly used for the deployments. Right, these are all TIBCO components. These are the main important TIBCO components here.
Because what is UI and CLI?
UI is user interface, sir. CLI is command line interface. The application, whatever we developed EAR file, right? Here, whatever we done the development, for example, hello world example, simple example, I built a EAR file, right? This is a design time. This is only design time. But it is a runtime. Right? Once you've done the development, right? You built a EAR file and deploy it to the administrator, where it is a runtime. All the applications will hit this instance.
Okay.
UI is
so
user
like means if I say it's like we are promoting our code to the new environment like test environment or UAT environment. So that kind of activity will be through TIBCO admin.
Correct, sir.
And then
input, yeah. So
okay.
Yeah,
and you were saying that TRA is TIBCO runtime agent has to it's like a JRA. So any machine who is using Java has to have the JRA.
Correct.
So like that, any machine which is having the TIBCO should have the TRA. So my question is, let's say application mainframe application is talking with .NET application. So these application, whichever server they are lying in, there we don't need a TRA, right?
No, we don't require. No.
So okay, so those applications are.
Yeah, we need those connection, like how I am connected to the CBEL, how I am connecting to the mainframe. Those connection parameters is enough for me.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it.
And what is the Hawk monitoring and management meaning?
Yeah, yes, sir. So whatever we developed and deployed here, right? The application deployed, right? Will be keep on monitoring by 24/7 using this. Something is down, some application is down, or something is stopped. Automatically, you will get an alert on your email or mobile. Those rules we can write here. It is just like a SLA, right? Service level agreement. 24.
Yeah, means for supporting system we use TIBCO Hawk.
Right. 24/7 SLA will be different.
Okay. And TIBCO business work
PM, right?
Sorry, sir.
Harshad.
Yeah.
It's like BWPM. It's BWPM. Same thing.
BWPM, correct. Business Works Processing Monitor, correct?
Okay. So BWPM is nothing but TIBCO Hawk, or there are two different tools?
TIBCO Hawk only. BAM also there. Business Activity Monitoring. Oracle has BAM, so that is also same thing.
Okay.
Business Activity Monitoring. Sir, end of the day, everyone do the same catering, but they are making a different names. That's it. The concept is, sorry, who is that? Yeah, sorry.
This is Aniket.
Aniket, hi.
Can you tell me something about the TIBCO business work?
Yeah, business works. Yeah, sorry. Whatever we develop, right? This one, right? It should have some engine where the business work will be facilitating that engine to run the components, where business works will contain the components like, for example, SOAP, for example, like EMS or JMS or HTTP or JDBC activities, right? All will be part of your business works engine.
Okay.
Right? Any activities, sorry, one second. It's called as a process. For example, ADDI addition dot process. I'm giving simple example. This is the addition is the process, just like your Java, just like your Java addition dot Java or addition dot C language. I don't know Kix much. Sorry to say that. So addition dot process. So what this guy will do? C equal to A plus B. So I will take as a two arguments, A equal to 10, B equal to 10, C equal to 20, right? Those logic I am going to build on this engine. But to build this process or this logic, I need to use business engine and those palettes. I'm given only 4 palettes, but there are a lot of palettes to build this logic. Right. So this business works engine will facilitate the business components as well as the palettes and the development facilitates and all the stuff. Like XPath is just like XPath is there. XPath is the where we are building the logic. It's just like a JavaScript, where it has all the functions will be there.
Okay.
Predefined functions will be there. Zero coding. If you want to write your own code, if you are good at Java, write a Java class file, make a jar file, add it to build path. You can write your own custom function. TIBCO will facilitate the function.
Okay. So Shrikant, so TIBCO Business Works is nothing but where we can design our business logic, and this will be available. And this will be available inside TIBCO Designer.
Correct. TIBCO Designer is your IDE, Eclipse, NetBeans.
IDE, okay.
Where the engine where you are writing the business logic need to be run some container. It's called as a business works. You are correct.
Oh, okay. And then what is we are deploying the EAR file. We are creating an ID and then we are creating a EAR file and we will be deploying it using a TIBCO admin.
Correct.
So once it is installed on a TIBCO server, so which product will run that thing? Means what is
admin only?
How it will? Okay, admin only it will run.
Yeah, admin has the product. During the development phase, during the development life cycle, we are going to develop the application here. Development and unit testing can be done here.
Okay.
In a local environment. Once we are fine, our test cases are passed, we will make it as EAR file and deploy it to the administrator. And from the administrator, we can promote to dev / QA / SIT or UAT or so each domain, each environment has one admin.
Shrikant, one question. Yeah, Guru here. So thing is, if TIBCO admin going to run the TIBCO application, then what is the TRA part? So what TRA going to do?
TRA is always running in the background, sir. It has a agent. It has a runtime agent. Any product needs to be run. Yeah. Any product like the admin or Hawk, RV, EMS, Business Works, anything need to be should up and running means TRA should be installed on that machine.
Oh, okay. TRA is
Shrikant, is
TRA, yeah. No, please go ahead. Yeah.
Simple example.
Is it a Apache server?
Yeah, it's a Tomcat.
Is it like the Apache server?
Tomcat server.
Yeah, Tomcat.
Administration is Tomcat. Guru, simple example is if you take a fresh brand new system and if you are trying to launch any Java application without Java, your browser.
Got it. Yeah. So all the TIBCO application, TRA, right? TRA is a base, which TRA is used to run all the TIBCO application, kind of. Right?
Correct. Each and every system where you are going to doing the development or where you are going to deploy the application should have a TRA.
Yeah, okay. So basically, it is a Tomcat server. All the TIBCO tools are running on top of it.
Yeah, Tomcat server, okay. TIBCO administrator is built on using the Tomcat. Customized Tomcat by the TIBCO.
Got it. Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah. The same ER, whatever you develop for Java ER will not work here. The component container is different.